Hello everyone, this is my first StarCraft 2 beta game that I'm actually bringing to you from the replay point perspective right now. Here I am, I'm spawning as the red Terran player. I think this is Scrapyard or Scrapstar, or I forget the name of the map, and my apologies right off the bat. And ooh, this is going to be a little bit different. Just to let you know, when you hold down the little middle mouse key and try to move around, it's actually opposite of what StarCraft or Warcraft 3 is. So that's going to be a little bit different for you. My partner is, or my opponent's going to be Shred Wheat. He is, in fact, he's played a couple times, so he is going to school me. No problem in that. But just go ahead and watch it, enjoy the show. Hopefully everything will still be to your liking as I try to figure out how to play this game right now. So here we are. Yes, just StarCraft 2 is in fact a very beautiful game, and wow, it's going to take me some time to get used to moving this way. Wow, this is very different. So sorry if I move in the different direction. So I want to move down to the left, down to the right, oh, down to the right. Okay, right now I am getting a supply depot up with my build right now. The build is a little bit late, so I'm going to be stopping my SCV construction. I don't know the proper build orders yet, so things are a little bit different right now. My opponent, on the other hand, has played a couple games already, so he is going to be schooling me very, very early. Shredded Wheat now. Let me just, can I even click on this? Yes, I can click on the probe and it will follow, so that's going to be much, much easier. So there's that probe now heading into my base. I have an SCV coming out to scout. You've already seen this map. I think this was on Battle Report 2 or Battle Report 3. There is that SCV right there building up that barracks. At the same time right now, my partner or my opponent is getting that standard gateway. So probe running around my base, just trying to figure out what he can and cannot do. There's my or my command center. Just enjoy this, watch it. I'm sure you guys could probably do without me talking, but hey, it's my video and you can mute me if you want to. Right now, probe now coming in, just trying to do additional scouting, and wow, this is so unused to for me to get used to any of the controls. Anyways, one of the first things that I figured out really early on, oh, there's a probe hiding very nicely behind this, so watch out for shadows. That is actually very important to keep track of, as I did not see this probe the whole entire game. I thought he somehow left my base, or I thought he was going to start building a proxy pylon of some sort. Now moving over here, so move to the left. Okay, yeah, move to the left. Moved over to the right here, and right now we have the supply depot currently still being built, and right now I have an SCV trying to run away from a single probe there. So standard scouting, Zealot now currently being built, more scouting, trying to figure out that there is no forge sneakiness right there. But yeah, that probe sitting there off to the side, hiding very nicely. We'll see how that really works out for him right now. Oh, a couple things, I forgot to get the orbital command center, and yeah, I actually have one of my SCVs attacking my own command center. I was wondering how I took damage on that command center. Yeah, silly me right there, doesn't really make sense. Anyways, coming back to the game works out, the game plays very, very smoothly. A couple things that threw me off guard, siege tanks, the hotkey was S, not T, I think. Also, Marines, the hotkey is A and not M. So if you wonder why I'm not spamming my units as quickly enough, the hotkeys are in fact different. So that feels very, very different. But I think it also has to do with trying to force everyone to play with just their left hand, their left hand on the ASDF keys. That helps the players not have to move around as much. Some players were saying that Terran had it a little bit easier since SCVs were on S and probes were on P. You'd have to move around the keyboard a little bit more. So everyone, I think what Blizzard was trying to do was in fact try to situate your hand on the left hand side. Right now, not really much to talk about. This is in fact one of my own games, so it's not a professional game. Factory now being built. At the same time, we see a forge now coming in, and we have a nice wall in as well. So we have a single zealot, three zealots. I'm trying to get some Hellions in order to move over there and try to break down the front door. I think he's taking the zealots at this point, as I haven't seen any stalkers yet, so no stalkers. He doesn't even have a cybernetics core, so I think I could have pushed in at this point or tried to do something, but at this point not much is really happening. Perhaps I should have gotten an SCV into his base and tried to scout out a little bit more. I have a couple Marines sitting out here, but those Marines are not going to really do much against those other units over there. So factory is still being built. you know what, pretty much enjoy the show. Not much is going to really be happening until later in the game, and I want you guys to enjoy pretty much all the glory that is StarCraft 2 beta right now. So yes, I am excited. Hopefully I'll be able to upload this video to you guys relatively quickly, and it will be good quality as well. Right now we have, let's see, coming down over here, we have the probe still sitting there, still doing scouting. I'm just really surprised at how well that you have to watch out for shadows within your own base. That is a little bit surprising, but not too surprising. At this point, I should have started trying to get some economic advantage, trying to set up an additional command center out here, try to expand, but I still don't know the pace of the game yet. It still feels like the original StarCraft. So those of you who haven't transitioned to Warcraft 3 and then trying to come back to StarCraft will find the game pretty similar. I'm getting a bunker out at my front door, and now I see my opponent getting an additional gateway, and let's see, additional gateway, now warping in some stalkers and getting that cybernetics core. So that cybernetics core, yes, is warping in some stalkers, queuing up 2 stalkers in one location as opposed to getting an additional stalker down over here. Also warping in a photon cannon over here to the southern side. Right now we have the probe coming in to scout. Shredded Wheat realizing that I do not have any an additional command center there yet, so it doesn't have to really worry. And I clicked away from my screen and I don't know what happened. There it goes, comes back into play. So a little bit of a lag there. Hopefully this video will come out all right. Right now I lifted off my barracks and moved it down. Here I should probably be producing more Marines, but still don't know what the strategy is at this point. Marines and medics are no longer a possibility as the medevac is now tier 3. Getting some Hellions and I do have this tech lab. The tech lab allows you to produce higher tier units from the factory. So before while the reactor core allows you to produce 2 units at once. So what you notice is that I can only produce Hellions from this one particular factory right here, but I can queue them up 2 at a time. So as you can see in this bottom picture right here. And meanwhile, with the cybernetics core or the tech lab, you can start building higher tier units. So I can start building siege tanks. So siege tanks, there's the cost: 150 minerals, 125 gas, and the build time is 50. So I think that converts over to 25 seconds. Right now we have a small army of zealots and now a Protoss stalker now coming in. I'm trying to start building in my command center, trying to build in for the middle of the game. I have not moved out yet. I think if I moved out with this army of Hellions and siege tanks, I would be pretty good at this point. I'm trying to repair this single SCV as this unit's coming in, trying to move out. Stalker's gonna come in and seize this command center. He's trying to focus down this command center, and he will be able to get it to cancel. So I go ahead and cancel that command center, and the SCVs gets taken down. My siege tank is now moving back up to the north end side, getting to higher ground as I realize that I cannot really win that particular fight right now. Siege tank damage is 15 plus wow, what's that, 15 or 16 or 60 damage. No additional damage being dealt, no bonus damage, that's the word I'm looking for any particular type of armor units. Right now we have the stalker. The stalker is here I'm just going through different types. What that disruptor is 8 damage plus 6 versus armored units. It targets air and ground. Weapon speed normal. It is Protoss armor, so it is an armored unit. Meanwhile, we have Protoss armor, move speed normal. I think these are light and biological. This is armored and mechanical. Just looking at all the keywords, clicking on all these units so you guys can confirm or deny anything that has been posted up on the beta forums right now. Hellion now moving out. I'm trying to use those Hellions in order to do some scouting and figure out where that army went. So I go up to the high ground and I quickly see that it's right here. So those Hellions, I'm going to quickly try to use them to focus down some of those zealots. And if I can pull them in and out and try to deal some damage towards those zealots, let's see if it's really going to work. Focus in, deal some more damage, more fighting. If I hold down Alt, yes, you can in fact see all their hit points. So there's the zealots, but right then he gets charged. So charge really changes my strategy at this point. Protoss stalker now moving in, so I'm now moving back up, now moving back down. You see one single shot from that siege tank. So that siege tank now moving in. But over here right now, you see the shredded wheat just completely understanding the game much better than me. and just building up more and more of this army at this point. So very, very nice army. Stargates now starting to warp in those void rays, and those void rays are really good. What's going to be the death of me at this point? I do have a starport, and I realize I should have been building some Vikings, but I only build one. And with only one Viking, I do not have enough to take down these void rays. Stay tuned for part 2 of